Okay, cool. Let's get started. So some changes in the market with DeFi lending and earning, and we're just going to jump straight into it. We're at the most basic of screens, but we're starting with Google because I want us to start from the beginning for anyone who's interested in this. The beginning starts with DefiLama. DefiLama is the main powerhouse dashboard that keeps track of the crypto world, basically, not just in terms of which assets are doing well, but general activity. So it's powerful, but it is a little intimidating. It is a little slow. So be patient with the tool and be patient with yourself. I would say the first place to jump in to really narrow things down is this yield section, right? Yields is what you can earn, and it takes a little bit to load, but it gets there. So still a lot going on here. I'm going to show you how to whittle this down into three things that I look for and we look for at Nook, right? And we could talk about later on how to utilize all of this in Nook. But the three things that we look for are the base token, the base chain, and then the TVL range and audits that we're looking for. There are some really high rates here, lots of things going on. Let's start with the token or asset that we trust the most, which is USDC, and we'll filter just by that. If you don't know what USDC is, highly recommend you check it out, but it's basically one of the blue chip premier stable coins. Once you are in USC, again, consider this like cash, then you can go into chains and we're going to select base only. Base is a L2 created by Coinbase and the team there. I'm partial to them because I used to work for them and on that team. But if you want to go into chains, you can learn more. But base for right now is just great in terms of the TVL, the speed, the safety, security, and it really helps us simplify your experience down the road. So if we focus on USDC on base, or you starting to see all base here, lots of great projects you might be familiar with. If not, that's all good too. But lots of great yields as well. The last thing we're going to do is let's bring ourselves a little bit more comfort and go into this attributes drop down and go into audited only. Might take a sec to load. And there we are. So audited only. Again, today was a pretty big up day. So over the past 30 days, we're seeing a lot of green, which is great. But basically, this is the APY you can get across these opportunities. So some of them are extremely high, 55%. Some of them are still quite modest, right? 3.3% below the like standard Robinhood rate that you would get with Robinhood Gold. But all of these are like really solid. So most of them, except for Aave, are above 4%, and not just above 4%, but like very much highly above 4%. So solidly above 4% in the 6, 7, 8, sometimes double digit ranges. So encourage you to continue from here. The next part that we'll jump into is how do we take this and leverage it on Nook. There's obviously some protocols that we love here. Moonwell, one of our favorites in our core protocol within Nook, but also Morpho, Aerodrome, Aave, and then some new ones that we're not super familiar with, but all good in terms of audited, high TVLs above 10 million, all in the base chain, all based on USDC. So I'll pause there and we can jump into the next section. Okay, so how do we tie this all together to Nook? What's the point of these rates? The point of the rates is to really save money, right? And apply these to our idle cash. So jumping straight into the Nook app, this is my Nook app. This is on my phone, iOS device. You can see I have $24,000 invested in Nook. This is my personal money. This isn't like a demo. This is the real deal. Here I can see the past 365-day rate, which is 7.7%. So that's over the past 12 months. And the current rate is 4.7. So not super high, I'd say, but still, again, higher than Cash App, Robinhood. And when things do change in the market, like this will likely go higher like it did in the past and like we saw in prior videos. So keep an eye on that. I can already see how much I've earned, right? So $101 already just over the past few weeks. The draw button is always there. You could always press the draw and you could always get your money out. So I wanted to withdraw the full $24,000. I could do that right now, or I could just get $5 out. What that does is converts that cash. So it takes it off of Moonwell, off of our current lending platform. And you can send it off via Coinbase. Super simple. All you have to do is log into Coinbase. Really quite easy. Coinbase has been great in terms of just ask for a little bit of information to log in. Confirm your passkey, no problemo. Once you've confirmed your passkey and you've verified, it knows to send it to your Coinbase account. You can cash out immediately. So boom, that money is headed off of Nook from your self-custody wallet into your Coinbase account. Your Coinbase account transferred to Bank of America, Wells Fargo. Keep it in your Coinbase account as cash, buy Bitcoin, do whatever you want. But it's just as good as cash now in your Coinbase account. Off Nook in less than 30 seconds. From there, you can always deposit more. So if you want to deposit $5, you can go back in there with Coinbase, do a bank or wire transfer. We're adding more options there. And you can always see your breakdown of your cash here. So the current APY, again, is 4.7%, 5.3% historical 30-day. And then over the past 365 days, it's been 7.7%. So remember that rate fluctuates over time. So this rate could shoot up to 5, 6, 7% tomorrow. It really all just depends on the market. It depends on what borrowers are borrowing. But I can always see how much I've earned in core rewards and then my extra rewards. The extra rewards is the rewards provided by the lending partner, which is Moonwell right now. I can always cash those out whenever I want, or I can let them grow. Whatever I cash out will automatically redeposit into my principal. We're going to have some new features, adding friends, auto savings, etc. And you can always go into the settings page to learn more, contact us, deposit USDC directly, etc. But it's pretty self-explanatory and easy to access. So check out the Nook app. Pretty bare bones right now. Would love your feedback. Still early days. If you're watching this, you're very early. Or maybe this is 3 years in the future and you've somehow gone back to look at the very early videos of this. And if that's the case, I appreciate it. So download the Nook app. Follow us. We're on X. We're on YouTube. Talk soon. Bye for now.